In the previous video, we talked about searching for parts. Well, in this video, we'll talk about adding those parts to your estimate. So you see I have my part search open, and I've already isolated parts for wood wall framing 2x4 using my category dropdowns at the top. So right up at the top is a part that I want to add to my estimate. So step 1 is to click the part. Next, we're going to add in our part quantity. To add in your part quantity, find this blue bar right up here at the top, and then click into this field to type in your quantity. In this case, the part is priced out using square feet, so it's just wondering the square footage of the wall that we're going to install. So if this was an 8x10 wall, I'm going to type in 80 square feet. And over on the right, it's priced out my material and my labor cost and given us a total here in the part preview on the right side. Once everything looks good, all we need to do is click Add Part. So step 3 is click Add Part. And it's that simple. I've just added a new part to my project. So let's do this one more time. This time I'm going to add in some parts for drywall. So I'm going to find my main category dropdown here, and I'm going to find wall coverings because this will be drywall for a wall. I'm going to just isolate some parts for drywall standard. And then once again, I'm going to click this part that I want to add to my estimate. Now there's a lot of options for customization. So let's go through the Add Part tool and we'll talk about all of the options available. Up at the very top, you'll see your unit type. The unit type is used to price out your material and labor. Just below, you'll see the quantity field, once again, which is where you add your part's quantity. If we scroll down just a little bit, we can see the part calculations. Each part includes a material, a labor, and a subcontractor cost calculator. For material cost, most parts use $/unit, which is the price per square foot. So it's going to take this cost per square foot, it's going to multiply that by our part's quantity, and that's going to determine the material cost. For labor, most parts use hours per unit, which is a calculation type for your labor cost. Hours per unit is the install time per unit, in this case, square foot. So it's going to take our hours per unit number, multiply that by the quantity, and then once again by a labor rate. That's going to determine our labor cost. Keep in mind you can always select a different labor rate just by clicking this drop down here, and you can choose a different rate from in your account. Keep in mind there's a lot of different ways we can calculate labor. If we click hours per unit in blue, we can change the calculation type. For example, we can change it to dollar per unit, which is handy if you want to calculate labor by the square foot. We can also enter in a flat rate by clicking lump sum. Or if we want to ignore our part quantity and just calculate a number of hours, we can click hours. If we want to add in subcontractor cost for our part, we can uncheck the other calculators and add in subcontractor cost. Then we can tell Clear Estimates how to calculate. Keep in mind the multiplier in your material cost calculator is typically left at 1. You can alter this for custom purposes. For example, if we wanted to add 20% to our material cost, we could change this to 1.2. And you'll see that it automatically tacks on 20% to our material cost. But for the most part, you'll want to leave this multiplier at 1 and really just focus on your cost per square foot. If we scroll down a little bit further, we're going to see the report text. The report text is the text that prints on the different proposals you can export for each particular part. So each part can have a different sentence of text for the preliminary, the formal, or the subcontractor proposal. If you want to adjust what your part says on your proposal, you'll always want to adjust the report text, which once again can be found down here. After any changes you make, just go ahead and click Add Part, and it will add that part to your estimate. Keep in mind once again that any changes we make from this Add Part view are just for this estimate, and this won't change the parts configuration in your library, giving you full control over the parts that you add to your estimate. So once again, it's a very simple process. It just involves finding the part you need, clicking the part, entering your quantity, and then clicking Add Part to add the part to your estimate.